Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we are back. There is things to talk about. So let's jump right into it. This week's episode of Secession, I'm not going to give anything away. I don't think Micah would either. That would be a horrible thing to do. Top episode of the series, top three. What do you think? It's got to be at least in the top three.
I mean, if HBO, if this show like was gunning for an Emmy, right? Like this show usually just gets the Emmys, but if it's gunning for an Emmy, this is the episode that it would get it on. This is one of the best episodes of television from one of the best television shows.
Yeah.
And it had everything that makes this show special. It had heart, it had laughs, it had despicable people, it had range from all of the characters.
Yeah, everybody put in work on this episode.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was very, very good. And yeah, it's one of, if not the best show on television currently.
Yeah, I agree. It's not one to miss. I saw a blurb from, I think it was Gizmodo or something like that, and it was like, Secession has officially hit its stride this season. I'm like, yeah, I would say so.
Well, it's only the third episode.
Right. Like, yeah,
like if this
it didn't have to wait till almost the end of the entire season to really get going.
Right. Like, yeah. At the end of the first act, it said, "Oh, okay. Well, here's something interesting."
Yeah.
Now I am incredibly interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah. Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised, I have to say. I was like, and just the performances were all, like you said, like so many characters had so much range in this episode. Everybody was going big. Like everybody was really, really putting in. Yeah, it was impressive. It was just a really impressive episode. Terrence, you watched all of Beef on Netflix.
Yeah, Beef is one of the best things that Netflix has put out in the last couple of years.
Wow. Okay.
It is.
I mean, don't say wow. Don't say wow. That's not a high bar. I did watch the first episode, and I agree with Terrence just based on the first episode. But like, that's not a high bar.
Yeah, the first episode is just is only the beginning. Literally, it goes into just chaotic territory. In the second episode, it's insane. It's crazy. By the end, you realize that it's an A24 production because it goes into some wild territory. Everyone's great in it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's nominated for some Emmys. It's that good. Ali Wong is a very good actress. Like, she's very good. Like, I don't know if she gets credit for that. I don't know if she's ever been able to show her range previously. But she's great. Steven Yeun is also kind of amazing. Everyone knows it about. It's like it's about a road rage accident just goes off the rails. It's 10 episodes. We're a little long. They could have cut like 2 out. But at the same time, I don't know what she would cut out. Kind of shit. It's just really good, man.
I've not heard a single negative word about it.
Right, it's that good. Like you haven't heard anyone say anything bad about it. Outside of maybe it might be a little.
I want to talk about the first episode, and there's not really much to spoil, right? Like, it's the first episode; it's setting things up. Both of those people are dicks, man, and the end of it, the end of the first episode. I don't know if you remember, but the two parties meet, and one person does something in the house of the other person. Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, I'd have caught that person. I'd have ran out. I'd have caught that person. I'd have did. No, that is gross. That is just the most
really fucked up,
vile thing. And if it only gets worse from there, I am all for it.
They're garbage human beings. Both. Like they're like, you kind of get a redemption slightly at the end, but not really. They're really fucked up people. He does some shit like there's some revelations during the show that you're like, yo, this nigga deserves everything he gets, and so does she. But it's basically like two broken people get into a road rage accident,
and they don't know how to stop themselves.
They don't know how to stop themselves. It affects everyone else in their lives, and it's just fucking nuts. And the fact that it's Asian folks makes it 100. Like, I'm starting to not like watching white people act. I'm getting tired of watching white people act, for real. Like, and the fact that this is almost an entirely Asian cast makes it that much better for me, honestly, because it's a different perspective. Because
I was gonna say you're actually getting new perspectives here.
Right, one is like Stephen Ewan is a Korean, and so they have like they when they eat Korean food. Like they have a lot of stuff about culture, about how they want to like make their parents happy. She's Chinese, married to a Japanese person.
Oh boy!
And his mother is Japanese, and she's like not the biggest fan because like they different, and so that also plays into shit like that. And I like that. Like I like to see different perspectives when I'm watching television or a movie. Like I'm getting tired of watching honkies act all the time. So like it's like that's why I like watching like black people act, right? Like when it's a very good show or a very good movie, I just love watching black people act because it's becoming normal, but at the same go ahead.
There's something about watching other people act that it's like it's indescribable if you are white, right? Like I don't think white people get it. Like I don't think white people get that. Hey, there are some subtle differences that, like, yeah, all these people are garbage. They could have cast this with literally anybody,
right?
But
they did. It was called Changing Lanes. That was a movie. Great movie, guys. I loved it.
But because these people are Asian, there's subtle differences.
Sure.
And like I don't think there are things that I won't be able to pick up on. Just like there are things that white people won't be able to pick up on. Just like there are things that like other people wouldn't be able to pick up on if there were black people here. But it's just interesting. And it feels different. It feels fresh. Like you said, it's changing lanes, but it feels different. Yeah. Right?
And I'm okay with that.
And that's what everybody's harping about diversity. This is what they're talking about. Like you could if you can't relate to a road rage incident, I mean, you've never driven a car before, I guess. But
no, you've never even been in a car,
right? Yeah. But this show. I just watched the first episode. It's really good. I told my wife, I said, "Look, you gotta catch up while I'm on this podcast tonight because this train is leaving the station." Especially because they're like 40 minutes max. I mean, I could have had this thing.
It's an easy watch, man.
Yeah. I could have had this thing done yesterday. So get on it. But yeah, the show is very good. I had something else I wanted to say, but I'm old and it's hot in here, and I forgot what it was. So.
It's
Meanwhile, for some reason, my
like
office
the whole
is frigid.
thing, like the created by Lee Sung Jin. I'm assuming I think that might be Korean. I don't know.
Like, well, it's three names. It's three names.
Don't do that. Don't have a lovely diversity conversation and fuck it up. Don't do that. He's one of those people. Like, don't do that.
You know what? You're right. Hwarong from Tekken is one name. So
see, all right, God damn. Everything I know about Asian culture comes from fighting games. What kind of ignorant ass American shit is that?
And then the musical selection at the end of each episode or during the episode is just clearly 90s, right? This person is our age. the producer, the directors, they're all our age.
I thought
the
the director, if again, maybe I'm mixing up my Asian folks. Isn't that one of the dudes who worked on Atlanta? I thought that was the same person.
No. Stop being racist. It's not the same person. Like I know who you're talking about. That's not the same person.
Okay.
Hikari is like the main director. She just goes by one name. Well, no, Jack Schreier it's Jack Schreier and Hikari are the two main directors, and then they got a bunch of other Asian people direct some of the other episodes. Yeah, but they're all like in their 40s, in their like 30s.
Hurry up, he gonna forget. Hurry up.
Can I say something rude? Can I say something rude?
Oh, fuck off! No, god damn it.
Ali Wong masturbating with a gun might be my new kink.
She has a sex scene, bruh. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna spoil this. I'm like,
all right. Well, guess what?
I'm watching 100%. Like I feel
watching it by myself with my pants off. How about that?
She has like this sex scene. I'm like, I feel like she was really fucking. Like the faces she was making. I'm like, good lord. All right, you are either a very good actor or like this Asian dude is blowing your back out. But and then like this other dude, his name is Young Mazino, which sounds like a hip hop artist.
Yeah,
it's very funny. But no, his first name is Young. He's Korean.
Shit! I thought that was his stage name, yo.
No, I had a.
It does sound like a rap name.
When I was a kid, his name was Young, so I recognize a lot of the shit from like Korean culture because when I used to go up to his house, so I recognize a lot of stuff that they did. But yeah, his name is Young Mazino. I feel like if like Tiara watches this, she might he's a young dude. He's in like 20s. You've seen him. You saw he's a younger brother, right?
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, she would. Oh yeah, she would be like me with Ali Wong and the gun. Yeah.
That shit was fucking wild. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? But no, it's fucking good, man. It's really good.
All right. Yeah. Everybody says beef's great. I'm gonna get my wife to check out the trailer, and I'll try to watch it with her on Friday tomorrow. I assume this is Micah. You've been watching Star Wars Rebels. Did you finish it?
I watched the first season in 2 sittings.
Wow.
I really like it.
Interesting.
Shame on you, Star Wars people, for telling me I need to watch the Clone Wars when I think this is better. I don't know if that's blasphemous, but I absolutely love Star Wars Rebels, and I think I love it. One, because these are new characters, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I know there are new characters in the Clone Wars, but it's around like Obi-Wan and Anakin and stuff like that. No, these are all new characters. They're incredibly relatable. It takes place during my favorite era of Star Wars, right? Like, if you break Star Wars down into chunks, the prequels are the rise of fascism. The in-betweequels, right, Clone Wars and a couple of other shows, are living with fascism. Rebels, Andor, and the original trilogy are the beginning of the actual rebelling against fascism. And the sequel trilogy is a reminder that if you don't be vigilant, like, fascism can rise again in a new form, right? And my favorite era is that middle chunk of, the big Star Wars is just a big old lefty story, and the most interesting part of it is the fight for me.
Yeah,
and yeah, it takes place during that. It takes place like a couple years before Andor takes place. It's like Andor for 7-year-olds, right?
Okay, I can get that.
It's really good, man. I'm gonna, and it's only 4 seasons. I'm gonna blow through this, but shame on you people for not telling me to watch Rebels. Rebels is better than Clone Wars. Get out of here.
I am having a bit of a hard time getting through Clone Wars. I will tell
if you really are serious about, like, you would like Rebels.
I feel like I should just watch the Clone Wars movie because there's like an animated movie, right? And then just watch Rebels.
Just don't. Just don't. just don't.
Yo, there are people in our Discord right now screaming, "How dare you!"
I'm telling you, if you want, you would dig Rebels. It's a quick watch, and you can watch it before Ahsoka comes out because a lot of some of the ancillary characters in Ahsoka are going to be are from Rebels. Yeah. So, and it's got the best droid. Chopper is the best droid. He's the best astromech droid. I like Chopper more than R2-D2. Go fuck yourself.
Wow. Fucking blasphemous. All right. There you go. Star Wars Rebels.
One more thing before we continue. I saw on Twitter, this is about Ali Wong. I saw on Twitter, someone said Ali Wong is the Asian Angela Bassett.
You gotta relax.
Look at those two pictures side by side.
I see what they mean in her face. I see what they mean
in the face.
I see what
slightly. They got slightly similar features in the face, which is hilarious. I'm like, that's a little racist, but then I'm like, oh wow. I looked at these two pictures. I'm like, okay. But like now I see why.
I get it. Brown and yellow people look alike.
Yeah, I mean, Angela Bassett does have kind of an Asian look, She kind of does. Yeah, you know what? Turns out, I'm really attracted to that facial structure.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, what is it? And I'm like, yeah, I get it now. That's why.
Yeah, I get it.
I go to, again, anyway.
Look, there's a limited amount of faces, There's a limited amount of
cat-eye glasses on Angela Bassett. And
yeah.
That works.
But like, there's a limited amount of faces. That's why Future looks like Meryl Streep. Like they look like they do. They do.
That shit is really wild.
Like humans are. We're all so different. Not under that skin. You're not. You're a bunch of bones, and you all look the same. Get out of here. All right, let's talk about topics this week.
Deadpool 3 is happening, and it's bringing back Morena Baccarin and Stefan Colossus is bringing back Vanessa and Colossus.
Nice save. It was almost like we didn't know you did that. Okay, that's cool. Apparently,
I remember. Olivia Munn turned down the role of Vanessa because she said she didn't want to be someone's sidekick. She wanted to be a superhero. And I get it, right? Like that's like in theory, right? Nobody wants to be the superhero's love interest. You want to be the superhero if given the option.
Sure.
So she turned down this role for Psylocke in the X-Men movies.
Okay, good job.
And that didn't really work out.
You were still a sidekick. You were barely in it.
I have a sword. They're gonna let you use it one time. Like I did all this practice. Why? I could have done that.
That was unfortunate.
It was because she looked the role. Like she had the look. Like the look was good. Yeah, you probably should have read the whole part where it was a Fox X-Men movie. I wouldn't have taken that. Like, I wouldn't have jumped on that train. Look, I think this is cool. The guy who's playing Dopinder, who was the taxi cab driver, the Indian dude, he's coming back as well. And the black woman who played
also
Blind Al.
Spider-Man India.
Yeah, he is Spider-Man India.
Yeah. And Leslie Uggams is coming
Al.
back, so...
Yeah.
So, look, that's cool. I'm curious to see what a Disney Deadpool is going to be.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the story is too. Like, is it an alternate universe story and then they get dumped into the MCU at some point, or do they just get dumped in right away and then they're kind of playing in that world, right? In some sort of like offbeat kind of thing.
I don't know. I feel like Secret Wars is when you do all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you can introduce it, right? You can introduce it beforehand, right? Like maybe you don't do it. Maybe you do Deadpool. Deadpool is doing his own thing. If you want to bring in mutants, I can't remember how far Secret Wars is. But if you want to bring in like a mutant movie, go ahead and do a mutant movie, and then Secret Wars is when you, just like they did in the comics, Secret Wars is when you bring everything in, you retcon everything, you basically start over.
2026 is Secret Wars.
2026? Might not. I don't know.
I mean, that's not that far. It seems crazy far, but like it's not.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Know it.
It's 2023 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they got plenty of time to do some recasting. It's been 4 weeks by my account.
Yeah, man. What the fuck? We ain't forgot.
Nah, yo, don't do that. Don't act like we forgot. You just gonna slide your ass back in the theaters. Like, no, you're not. You're not gonna do that. Disney is not that stupid. There's no way. There's no way. Look, as I was telling someone today, just recast and announce a new actor same day. We've parted ways with Jonathan Majors. Allow us to bring in his replacement. Just come right on in. Right. Already dressed as Kang. We've already put him in the other movies. Just fucking move on.
And now then we'll get we'll get all the dudes who were saying that he was effeminate for wearing a pink shirt and with a pink background. We'll get all them defending him. So
they already started defending him after he punched a white woman in the face. I don't know if he did it. Actually. I'm just saying, like they started defending him. Yeah, like right after that, I'm like, that's a little weird, but okay, guys.
You know what's really being a man? Not that. Okay, like what the fuck, bro? Like that's not cool. But I wish I could pretend to be surprised.
Yeah, I wasn't.
No. I mean, Mikey, you called that the second that shit came out. You were like, yeah, now watch those dudes immediately defend him. And it was like, and like clockwork. Now, hold on a second. Like,
nothing is not predictable. Good Lord.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Look, more Deadpool. That's cool. I like the idea of them bringing these people back because that's the best Colossus we've had on screen by far.
Next up, Mia Goth is going to be in Mahershala Ali's Blade movie. There's no casting news as of yet as who she will be playing. I had to take a guess. It'd probably be Lilith.
Who's Lilith?
Lilith is like a demon goddess. There are two Liliths in the Marvel universe. One of them is the daughter of Dracula. The other one is like this all powerful like demon.
Well, if I had to guess, looking at this image, she sure is very white. So I'm going vampire.
Yeah. That's what I think. She's going to be some type of vampire or a demon, whatever. But
I sent this to you, Terrence. Like she's you really like her in all these latest.
Yeah, she's a great actress. Like I said, whatever she's casted as, she's probably going to be fucking Bennett, whatever character she plays. All right. So it really don't matter, honestly. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what this looks like. I really am.
You think it's going to be R-rated, right? It's got to be. It's got to be R-rated.
Yeah, I think so. I think Deadpool opens the door for this stuff, and then you get your R-rated Blade. I just don't see a scenario where they try to make this PG-13. It doesn't make any sense. He can show up in other things that are PG-13, but not in his movie. No way.
Yeah, I agree. I need Blade and the Midnight Suns to kind of be a little more like like don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to push the boundaries. Don't, because like Marvel's kind of been on cruise control a little bit.
we'll see. Absolutely.
They've been on cruise control. I have
They
been.
don't really have any competition right now.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
and I've
shit.
been incredibly
I
disappointed.
saw Shazam 2. I am sorry.
Wow, that tells me everything I need to know about Shazam 2.
Oh, wow. Continue.
No. I think we can take a pause right here. Go ahead. What were your thoughts on Shazam: Fury of the Gods?
The
I can't
fact
wait
that you
to hear
told me to continue after you said you watched it.
it. Yeah, you didn't even want to break in. Like, nah, go ahead. It's not even that important.
I forgot that I watched it. God damn! Wow, that is bad stuff. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. If I had to choose between this and Black Adam, I would probably choose this to watch again. If I had to watch one of them again, it'd be this one. But it's not very good. Like it just isn't, right? Just like I thought, like it looks kind of cheap. The best parts are when they're like working as a team, as a family.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen a lot, right? In the first movie, Billy Batson was like the main character, right?
Yeah.
A 14-year-old or 13-year-old Billy Batson was the main character. And his friend, his sidekick, was like a secondary guy. In this one, they have Billy Batson on screen for maybe like 5 minutes. Very weird.
Yeah, that's a
Shazam
problem.
most of the movie. It's just very strange. Not only that, but I feel like I'm pretty sure other people have said this. Billy Batson is about to be an 18-year-old child, about to be an 18-year-old, right? There's a whole sub story about him being aged out of the foster care system. So he's 17 years old, going on 18. When he's Shazam, he's acting like a 12-year-old. Like Zachary Levi is still acting like he's 12, and I'm like, have you never talked to a 17-year-old before? That's not how they talk right now, you know. Like they're almost adults, almost technically.
Right.
They're not. He's like I hate to be an asshole, but he's always like he's got like a mental deficiency when he's fucking Shazam. If Billy Batson is 18 years old, I'm like, why are you acting like this?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It's weird.
Exactly
it was pissing me off, honestly. I'm like, yo, this nigga's 18. Stop acting like a 7-year-old, you know. Please.
And the thing was, it would be one thing if like the actor playing the younger Billy was acting like that, but from what I understand,
right, he was acting like playing a teenager.
Right, he's acting like a sullen, like 17, 18-year-old kid who's going through some shit. Right. And then here comes Zachary Levi,
17-year-old, and Zachary.
It's just Shazam, and then he's just like, "Bye, Khaleesi." Like, what the fuck? Like, nah, yo.
I hated it. I was so mad. I'm like, yo, there's a big difference between a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old. It might seem like it because there's only like a 3 or 4 year difference. There's a big fucking difference.
Yeah, that's a huge maturity difference.
Playing Absolutely. It like the first episode, like the first movie, and I'm like, yo, come on, man. Right. Like y'all didn't. You were 17 at one point. Like you know how you were. What the fuck?
That's a failure in direction, yo. That's a failure.
That's a failure.
Yeah,
absolutely in direction.
I'm like, yo, it was really bad. Like that shit made me mad. Like it really was pissing me off. I'm like, yo, he's not an idiot. Like right. Billy Batson's not dumb, you know. Like you're dumb. You're making me very mad. I don't know. But that was my biggest issue. And then other issue that I have was the oldest one of the bunch, the one that was supposed to have gone to college, is the same actress. When she's in her super suit and when she's her normal self. So how the parents didn't fucking know that their goddamn daughter
that's
was a
dumb.
Superhero is really fucking stupid.
They didn't. That's like, really ridiculous, yo. That's like, ridiculous,
come on, man. Everyone else were children and they aged up. She didn't age up. She just put on a suit. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? God damn, yo. They just failed. They failed miserably.
So I think it's probably safe to say Zachary Levi's Shazam is not moving into the DC studio or like to future DC movies.
No. So you haven't seen John Wick 4 yet, right?
I have not. No.
Is this movie better than John Wick 4?
No, it isn't.
Zachary Levi said it is. He said it is.
I haven't seen. He's like it's rated off. There was some wild scenes in that movie. It was because the guy that directed it is a horror director, I think. Yeah, he is a horror director. He directed It. Like he's directed.
Oh, really?
It. Oh, yeah, I think it's him. So some of the scenes are a little wild. But yeah, that movie. I understand why it failed. Like I just do. It just. Nah.
And I enjoyed the first one.
Hilarious.
And you liked the first one as well, didn't you?
Like the first one was really fun, but like there was a whole. No, he didn't direct it. He directed something.
I think the dude who's directing The Flash directed it.
Is that it?
Andy Muschietti.
Okay. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I think he's directing.
David Sandberg. Oh no, he directed this movie called what the hell is that horror movie? We Eternal Lights Out. That's what he directed. Annabelle Creation, Lights Out 2. That's coming out later. But yeah, don't like. If you like the first one, you might like the second one. I don't know, but like, I didn't hate it, but it was just kind of like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what is happening in this fucking movie?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, next up.
Wow. So Billy Porter is set to play James Baldwin in an upcoming biopic. Look, James Baldwin is one of the. I was introduced to James Baldwin in college. I took an African diaspora class.
You went to Morgan, so it wasn't.
I went to Morgan.
Right? I'm about to say, was it black or white teacher?
No. It was a black woman, and she was dope. And that's where I first read The Fire Next Time and some of his other stuff, and Go Tell on the Mountain, stuff like that. And James Baldwin, I fell in love with James Baldwin. He is my civil rights, the civil rights person that I admire the most. Is James Baldwin. So these are, for me, these are some big shoes to fill. I feel like it's sad to say, but movies are how we learn about things like this.
That is a wild yet accurate statement, and it's gross. It's really gross.
And look, I'm not saying that like I'm like some learned man, right? But like I didn't know about 12 Years a Slave before the movie came out.
Sure didn't.
But
hate to say it.
Right. But this is how we get this type of information is through movies. So this story is long overdue. Mm-hmm. I know I Am Not Your Negro came out, but that's like a documentary. People don't like documentaries unless you're like 40, right? You need to do what they did for us in middle school. And hey guys, we're going to a movie theater during class. It was like, yay, to see Amistad. Oh,
they did.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Like, but like that's how you teach people this stuff. So yeah, James Baldwin was a brilliant man, and these are some big shoes to fill. And I'm not saying that Billy Porter can't do it. It's my understanding that Billy Porter is a classically trained actor. I am just not familiar with Billy Porter's catalog. I haven't seen Pose. I haven't seen anything that Billy Porter has done. As far as I'm concerned,
either one of you, have you ever? Have any of you even seen anything he's been in?
Yeah, I watched. No,
as far as I'm concerned, he is a professional gay black man. And
that's all you know.
That's all I know him as. Who wore like a dope ass like tuxedo dress at an award show.
Yes, he's in fact done more than that. Like, yes.
I would imagine
he's an Oscar away from an EGOT.
Well, there you go. So hopefully he'll get it with this.
I've seen him in Pose. I think he very much can handle this. I think that guy is. Like, he's a very, I won't say understated, but I think he's one of those, because he's not an understated personality at all, but I think he's kind of one of those actors that people don't see coming, and then it's going to be like, oh, shit. Like, it's like the fact that he's only an Oscar away from an EGOT, right? Like, oh, like, he's been around and doing these amazing performances and things like that for years. Yeah, his performance on Pose was really good. Like, it was excellent.
Did you finish Pose or just like?
No, I'm not caught up. I think I've seen season 1 and 2 because I think that's what 3 and 4 now.
No, it's only 3 seasons.
3 seasons. Yeah, I watched the first 2 seasons. So yeah, I think he can do well with this. It will truly matter how well it's written, I think. I feel like a lot more people should know who James Baldwin is. I don't think they do know. I hate to say this, but I know people and I know the internet. They're going to make some very weird assumptions about them only doing this because he's gay, which is ridiculous. James Baldwin is far more than just one label. But I'm sure that will. Why don't they do other civil? Why we got a Marcus Garvey fucking biopic and we're getting this one now, right? It'll be some stupid shit like that. But I hope that people see this. I really do. I hope it's great. And I hope this is what he gets his Oscar for. I do, because I think one story needs to be told.
I hope he goes through, like, he's gonna have to do a lot of fucking. I'm sure he watches. I'm sure he's gonna watch a lot of fucking footage of James Baldwin to get that fucking, his not his accent, but the way he talks. He has a very distinct voice.
He does, and he has a very distinct cadence of speech too.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, he's got a very distinct cadence in the voice. Like, I need you to get as close to that as you possibly can. I don't want to hear Billy Porter reciting James Baldwin.
I agree with that. Yeah, don't do your
James
voice.
Baldwin, whenever James Baldwin spoke,
transform, bro.
Yeah.
Whenever James Baldwin spoke, you could tell that he's thinking about what he is saying before he says it.
Yes,
and it is, and it's. I've waited my father's time, my mother's time, my brother's time for your. How does the quote go? I used to know it by heart. For your progress. Like it was. I don't know, man. I really want this to be good, yo. Like, I really, really want this to be good.
Is this so funny? You're like, he really thinks before he speaks, and then you're like, I don't have the words.
Look, I am no James Baldwin, but I really want this to be good, man. Look, I've seen people, like you said, like, not necessarily why we gotta have a James Baldwin quote. Like, I looked at the root comments on it, and some people were like, well, Billy Porter's too tall. Like, one of the things that made James Baldwin, one of the things that made James Baldwin was that he was slight, right? Like, he was a frail looking man. He was a small guy, and that's nonsense, guys. Okay,
that's a terrible reason to don't try to eliminate watching this movie for that.
For God's sakes. Like, Denzel Washington doesn't look like Malcolm X. He doesn't. But he became Malcolm X.
Yes.
So that's ridiculous. And then, I see some people who are really happy and think that Billy Porter can pull it off, and I hope so. I have no reason to doubt it. I really want this to be good. I mean, and the fact that, like, Lee Daniels is nowhere near this, because something like this has Lee Daniels written all over it, right?
Yo, I'm telling you, if I looked this movie up and it was directed by Lee Daniels, you ever seen that meme where the kid is like dancing and he's singing like just one more kiss or whatever, and then it changes and he like rips his headphones off and throws them because he's so mad? That would be me, yo. Like, a James Baldwin biopic directed by Lee Daniels. Like, motherfucker, come on, man. Like, that would be the worst news I had received. So yeah, I'm glad it's not him. But yeah,
So who's tied to it? Do we know yet, or is it just
Dan McCabe is writing the script, and Byron Allen is producing it.
Who's very black.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, man, you got to call Ava DuVernay, yo. Like, for real, yo. Like, call her. She'd crush it. Like, but you need somebody who's going to be able to like pull that performance out of him in a way that that makes like it's like a Malcolm X level biopic. Like he's got to become that character. Like Terrence said, he needs to transform into James Baldwin.
I can't imagine that James Baldwin probably isn't one of his heroes. To be honest with you, like how old is Billy Porter's? Like 50 plus years old.
You're saying is or wasn't?
No, is.
Oh
He's
yeah,
gay man. Like
absolutely. I'm
Porter's
sure.
Yeah, so I can't imagine like he wouldn't really want to do this role justice.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, I've seen him in a lot. Well, not a lot. I saw him in Pose. He was in a couple other things that I've seen, and he is an excellent actor. But like a lot of times, he's Billy Porter.
Right. That's the biggest concern is can you get that voice?
Can you, be a little bit more subtle and become James Baldwin? That's all I'm a little worried about. I feel like he'll be able to do it, but yeah, we'll see. I need to see a trailer.
Well, it can't be worse than that time Anthony Mackie played Tupac. So, or his best impression is Sticky Fingers from fucking Onyx, as far as I'm concerned. Ridiculous. Next up, Lucasfilms announces more Star Wars movies. 3 Star Wars movies, live action to be exact. But they're doing something different, which I think is really smart. Instead of telling one story across 3 movies, how they utterly failed the last time they tried that, they're doing 3 stories in 3 different moments in the Star Wars timeline. The first one being directed by James Mangold, which is great. That is going to be during the very first Jedi, called Dawn of the Jedi, which is 25,000 years before the events of the Skywalker films. It will tell the tale of the first Jedi ever in what he described as a biblical epic. The second movie is going to be directed by Dave Filoni, who has been sort of the architect of all the like Clone Wars, The Mandalorian, Rebels, all of that sort of in between stuff, and kind of brought Star Wars back to its glory for a lot of people. He's going to actually move to live action for the first time, and he's going to direct a movie that sort of is set in the same time period as The Mandalorian, culminating in the conflict between the Imperial Remnant and their New Republic. And then lastly, Obey Chino, who directed Miss Marvel, is going to be doing, I guess it's called Jedi Order. I don't know if that's the final name, but that's going to reintroduce Jedi Master Rey Skywalker, played by Daisy Ridley, who's returning, which takes place 15 years after the movie Rise of Skywalker.
Ugh, gross. Girls, gross.
Yeah. Downvote. Look, all of that sounds...
I hope they're all women. Everybody.
I hope the first Jedi is a woman. I hope the first Jedi is a black lesbian woman who then in her spare time also arrests Hitler in the show Hunters.
I hope she's a black lesbian woman who somehow lives 20,000 yeyears and eventually puts the emperor behind bars. That's what I want to happen.
Frankly, if they cast Lizzo, that would be perfect for me. just how everyone is acting like a bunch of dickheads because she was in the Mandalorian. Fine, put her in everything. Yeah, look, make it a woman. Really, really, really piss these guys off. Or, you know what? A trans woman. Why don't we just triple down? Just triple down. And at the end, she drinks a Bud Light.
I've never had Bud Light a day in my life.
I've had it. It's not very good.
Me neither.
You don't shut up.
I've literally never had a Bud Light. I'm like, what the fuck does it taste like? I can't imagine it tastes very good.
You ever had a Coors Light? You ever had a Coors Light?
I don't think so.
Me neither.
So.
Okay. You've had a Miller. I know you've had an MGD, the champagne of beers.
Miller Junior and Draft. I don't think so.
What the fuck?
I don't think I drink light beer, though. I don't think I've ever had like light beer.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But like just a Miller, like you've just had like a Miller,
like a Miller. No, don't like rednecks drink that shit.
Probably. I don't know.
Like I feel like certain cans like give me PTSD. You know, like you see white people drinking them in like TV shows and shit when you were a kid. And
Yeah,
they're,
you're
mad racist, and you want to stay away from that shit.
You're like,
Like, I honestly don't think I've had any of that shit. Like I've had Yingling, but now I realize that the niggas from Yingling are like transphobic or some. Or
yeah, they're
whatever the
apparently
fuck.
like, oh no, we're America first. Like,
Yeah, I'm like,
I thought you were
wow.
gonna say. I thought you were gonna say you realized that they weren't Asian. I was like, me too.
Mike
yeah, I don't think I've
desperately
ever
wants to be involved in the beer conversation. I don't know what any of this means.
Yeah, I've never had I've never had a never had Coors Light, never had Miller Lite, or whatever the fuck beers that they were angry about that they sent to one trans woman, and that's it. They literally sent those cans with her face on it to her. They're not selling them in stores.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I thought they were just selling
that was the story. They sent her They sent her a complimentary 6-pack with her face on it, and they flipped the fuck out. You can't even buy that shit in
Oh, really? That makes this even dumber, yo. That makes it even
They're
dumber.
ridiculous. Exactly.
They're making me drink the beer. They're not. They're not making me.
Yeah.
Also, it's bad beer. It's not good.
Yeah, I like a Budweiser. It's very easy to drink.
Yeah.
Never had
Well,
Bud
look, Budweiser or Bud Light, it's all not great beer. It's not. It's not.
What is a good beer for the people? What is a good beer besides root beer?
A good
Well,
beer?
you said the best answer. I don't have one. I don't drink
try
beer
something
that
different.
often.
I do like Blue Moon.
Yeah, Blue Moon's a pretty good beer. Yeah, that's not bad.
I like the mango wheat wit or whatever the fuck, and the regular Blue Moon is fine.
Wow, mango.
Yeah, I know I'm a coastal elite. That's fine.
My wife used to drink. Something with a tree on it. Like a
Nigga, shut up.
it was like one of them evil Mortal Kombat trees or some shit. Hold on. I gotta find that shit. I know I'm
Please.
Angry Orchard. She
Oh,
used to drink
Nigga,
Angry Orchard.
that's not.
That's cider, yo. Your wife does
that's
not
a
drink
fucking-
any beer.
Apple.
I don't.
Angry.
I don't know.
That's hard cider. Hard apple
okay.
cider.
Like Mike's,
Yeah,
Mike's
it's got
lemonade.
The exact same thing.
Yeah, it's just
okay.
same bullshit type of shit.
I wanted to try out Mike's lemonade once, but I didn't know it was booze lemonade.
Alcohol.
I thought it was.
Yeah,
just
it's a very boozy drink. It's for
okay.
people who want to get drunk off of beer but are too chicken to do it. I like something
okay.
sweet. Yeah, just drink scotch for God's sake. Grow up. So yeah, 3 movies. 3 movies across the timeline. Look, I like this idea. I think it's smart. I think it adds a little bit of variety. We have long needed movies in the early part of the timeline, way away from the Skywalker story. Way away. So, also having James Mangold do that is dope. Having Dave Filoni do his timeline, I think is pretty fun. The talk is that The Mandalorian may just kind of phase into that movie, right? Like, that those characters are going to kind of jump over. So don't be surprised with all the Mandalore talk that you see, Bo-Katan and the rest of them make it over to the movies, which is kind of dope. I like that idea. So, and good. Maybe Daisy Ridley will get a chance to be in a good movie. So
Yeah, those last 3 movies aren't great.
no, they're not good at all. But that wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault. It wasn't the principal 3 actors' fault at all. It was just they were trying to build the ship while flying it, which was stupid. Next up, Warner Brothers Discovery is set to relaunch HBO Max under the name Max for some dumb fuck reason, bringing subscribers a combination of content from HBO Max and crap.
You don't like the name Max? You don't like the name Max?
No, not a fan of it.
Problem.
I would have preferred if it was under the name Maximilian, because that's the only name that should be shortened to Max. Everyone knows that. Per a report from the New York Times, 3 people with knowledge of the matter said that Max will make its debut sometime in May or June, and it will cost $16 a month. I know that because I got a message from Hulu saying that the price of HBO Max is going up to $16 a month. I was like, okay, there you go.
How much is it now? $14.99?
Something like that.
12?
Yeah. Or 12. I think it's $12. And it's moving up to $15.99. But we'll have several price tiers, including an inexpensive ad tier. No, thank you. Fuck right off. HBO Max costs $16 a month as of January. The information comes a day ahead of Warner Brothers Discovery executives unveiling a plan for a combined streaming service, which includes bringing Discovery's reality shit shows like Dr. Pimple Popper. Wow, that's a real show. Those weird Property Brothers. I don't like them. In the same room as HBO series like Succession, House of the Dragon, The Menu, and The Last of Us. Listen to that. Dr. Pimple Popper next to fucking Succession. Yo, shut up, yo. Like, keep your shitty service over there. I don't want to see that when I want to open and watch quality prestige television.
Like I already said what they should do when you fucking open the fucking app. It should be HBO Max on the left and Disney or Discovery on the right. You choose which one and keep that shit separate.
Yep,
that's all they have to do.
Because if there's anything that Terrence is advocating more of, it's separate but equal.
Yeah, segregation. I'm all for it. Like the fuck? That's just, like again. Dr. Pimple Popper next to Succession and The Menu is a.
No, I agree with you. You stay over there. You stay over there.
Yeah, they should drink from different fountains, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, exactly. Get out of here. I don't need all that.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Come on. I
don't want to see the trip. Dr. Pimple Popper fucking Chiron right next to fucking The Menu for The Last of Us. I don't want to see it. Like, that's fucked up, dude.
Not only is it offensive, like, we're going to talk about the trailer they put out for The Penguin. Like, that shit looks excellent. Like, coming up on new season of My 600-Pound Life. Like, come on, yo. Like, that's garbage. Please stop putting that out. It's nonsense. You're just putting out a freak show.
And it's not even good television, you know? It's just like it's offensive.
It's a freak show. Like, I'm not trying to be mean to people who are on those shows, but it's a freak show. They got a show with a girl with 2 heads, yo. Knock it off.
Wait, what?
That might be like, no, that's TLC, I guess. She has 2 heads, yo. She does.
Is it the?
She does, yo. I'm not trying to be an asshole, yo. She does.
No, that's old though, right? I think I know who you're talking about. It's like the twins, but like the conjoined twins.
Yeah, they got 2 heads. Is a girl with 2 heads, or
I've seen them,
or 2 girls with 1 body. You pick whatever.
2 girls, 1 body. Is that the name of the show? 2 girls, 1 body.
But it's a freak show, man. It's not fucking right. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
They're being ableist right now.
They can walk. I'm being an asshole.
Yeah, you should say nothing.
See how your friends abandon you? Like, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. We were all together on that. Yeah, so, okay, look, I think calling it Max is ridiculous. I wouldn't have done that. There are some people who think, and I think this is probably accurate, that they don't want to put the HBO name because it'll turn off Midwestern viewers who may not be as into quote unquote prestige television. Look, frankly, I think that is I think that's selling people a little short. I don't think House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones got to where it is by only coastal elites watching those shows. People in the Midwest watch that shit too. But
at the same time, like Bill Maher is on there. You know what I mean? Like those.
He don't have to be. He don't have to.
I agree, but those people are not gonna download an app that's got like, you know, HBO is incredibly like left leaning, like every other media outlet that's reasonable. It's just that HBO is not afraid. HBO is not afraid to wear it on its sleeve, and that's just like a no-brainer. That's just like a no-go for some people. Just like some people won't drink swill because some private citizen got special cans with rainbows on them. Well, I'm never drinking it again because it's got that. Well, you can't buy it. So,
Right.
Also, you are. Yeah, you are. You're going to drink it. In 1 month, when everybody stops talking about it, you'll be back to buying your fucking Bud Light. Stop lying. You love piss water.
Well, there ain't nothing else here, so.
The gays got me again. I guess I'll have to drink it again. Like, no one cares. No one cares. All right, so yeah, it's going to be called Max now. That's fine. Whatever. Just, again, put 2 big buttons, HBO Max, other, and then I'll choose HBO Max. It's fine. All right, let's talk about What the Fuck, brought to you by JTD from the Edit That Out podcast.
Pilot made an emergency landing after finding a highly venomous cobra hiding under his seat. Rudolph Erasmus alerted his 4 passengers of the stowaway reptile after he felt, quote, something cold slide across his lower back.
No.
Looking down, he saw the head of a Cape Cobra, also known as a yellow cobra, receding back under the seat. Cape Cobras are one of this place's most dangerous cobra species because of the potency of their venom. One bite can kill someone in just a half an hour. Quote, there was a moment of stunned silence, said Rudolph, adding that everyone managed to stay calm. With the snake curled up by his feet, the pilots called air traffic control, asking for permission to make an emergency landing, which was another 10 to 15 minutes away. I would not, this is one of those situations where you beg for forgiveness instead of ask for permission. I'm not dealing with these monkey flight fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. Just gotta get the fuck out of here.
One of the alternatives.
Where was this at?
Brazil.
Thailand?
Not quite. Not quite. It was South Africa.
South Africa. Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of snakes, but like venomous cobras, it's a different story.
That's a valid thing to be afraid of. Like, you a bitch, you be scared. I'm scared. Well, no.
There was a snake in my house once, man.
In your house?
In my house. In the house, in the garage, and it we immediately got the garage resealed because we had mice, and one of the mice was on the trap, and I went to check, and I was like, oh shit, right? Because the snake was stuck on the trap trying to get the mouse, and it was still just like reaching for it, even though it was stuck. I was like, oh, fuck, now I got to deal with this shit. So me being the bitch that I am, I immediately called my wife and was like, well, we got to take care of this. Because we married. What's mine is yours, including snake wrangling. But yeah, nah. And then we called Terminex. It was like, look, you better get rid of these fucking mice because I don't want to have to buy a new house.
Yeah. Nah, I'd have burned
I'd
have burnt that garage down. It's not worth it. Get rid of it. Terrence, you're up.
A man breaks his penis performing world's most dangerous sex position. Because of course.
What is the position?
Detroit.
Alabama.
I'm sure you.
Sorry to this man.
It was a snappy ending. Guess who this was?
Oh, come
fucking
on,
New York Post did this shit. God damn it.
Come on, Post.
And a man had to undergo emergency surgery after fracturing his penis while performing a notoriously risky sex position, which left him with an eggplant phallus.
Oof.
A study detailed the breaking news was published recently in the journal Urology Case reports the freak accident occurred while the unnamed 37-year-old male was reportedly having intercourse in the reverse cowgirl position. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Didn't I? When did I say this? When did I say I didn't like this position? It was this past.
It was like this last episode.
Black on Black Cinema, right?
It was on Black on Black Cinema.
Exactly. Reverse cowgirl.
Yeah, because they don't. It's not a ladies. It's not a pommel horse.
No, yeah, that's not a good position to be in. Yeah.
It's a terrible position. I don't like it. You know, it makes me very fearful for my dick. Clearly, I'm correct.
Yeah, because like if you come up too high, and like nah, yo, if things if things don't set back where they were supposed to be a second ago, you're in a world of trouble.
Exactly. I don't like it. In which the woman is on top, facing away from the partner. Either forward or back, it don't really matter, honestly. Still, you can cause the same issues. According to TikTok Doctor, this is the world's most dangerous pleasure pose.
Nah.
Responsible for a whopping 50% of fractures.
Yikes.
Nah, absolutely not. Lo and behold, things went south after the man suddenly heard a loud cracking sound, followed by pain, discomfort, and immediate loss of erection. Take a guess where this took place. Following the boudoir backfire, the patient began bleeding out of the... Oh, nope.
Where did this take place? Facebook. That's where it took place because motherfuckers. Ow.
I somewhere in the U.S. I assume.
I would assume the UK, right?
Indonesia.
All right.
Following the anyway, realizing something had gone horribly awry, the frightened fellow reported to the General Hospital of West Nusa Tenggara Province.
No, thank you. All right, my story. A cafe fires waitress for mixing her own blood into cocktails. And how we got there is quite interesting. A young waitress has been accused of borderline terrorism by her employers after it was discovered she had mixed her own blood into patrons' cocktail. A cafe called the Problem Child Dark Cafe opened its doors for the first time on March 3rd. It hoped to attract patrons willing to pay $20 an hour to drink all they wanted by hiring, quote, mentally unstable and problematic girls dressed in dark goth-style attire as waitresses.
Hampton.
That makes sense.
Florida.
No, this is Sapporo, Japan. I thought the name might have given it away. Problem Child Dark Cafe. Like there's like way too many words.
Right.
Like happy time, happy fun time, dance hour. The cafe fired the young woman as soon as management learned about the incident and apologized to the clientele. Yeah, so apparently when you hire, quote, mentally unstable and problematic girls, you might just get one. Like, yeah. Like, I'm going to put my blood in this drink, like, because I'm crazy. Like, okay. Yeah. So for $20, you get to drink all you want, but you might drink someone's blood. So, best of luck with hepatitis.
Jesus.
Yeah, hepatitis
or worse.
Okay. Or HIV or syphilis or whatever the fuck else.
Yeah, cases of people getting infected from drinking another person's blood are rare. Yeah, it fucking should be. But major diseases can be transmitted through blood, including HIV, hepatitis C, hepatitis B, and syphilis. If there are wounds in the mouth, it is easy to be infected by blood transmissions. Nah. I'm coming over the bar, yo. I'm coming over the bar.
You got to fight that shit, right? Like,
I'm coming over the bar for that. Like
I might slap the shit out of her, yo, for real. I don't hit women, but like I might slap the shit out of her.
Yo, you gotta relax.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Drinking the blood of others is an extremely dangerous act. Yeah, statements that don't need to be said.
What the fuck?
Would you be cool if your wife, who you know and love, put her blood in your drink, Micah? Like instead of using Crystal Light, she just poured a little bit of her blood into your Kool-Aid or water or whatever. I don't drink Crystal Light.
Nah, I can't.
Like, that's some voodoo shit. Yeah. You trying to put a root on me?
You trying to control me?
Yeah, no, man.
Yo, a black person saying somebody trying to put a root on you. Yo, that's some powerful niggatry, yo. Like that's just ridiculous.
Funny.
Don't mess with them. Don't mess with them Caribbean girls.
That's crazy. That's unacceptable.
No, I'm gonna own that entire restaurant. At the end of the day, that's fucking nuts. All right, trailers this week. There is a new trailer for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I got to tell you, it looks pretty good. It looks really good.
It's the most animated I've seen. Fucking what's his name in a very long time?
Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
Harrison Ford. Yeah, he looks like he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Last thing I saw him in was Shrinking, and he's acting like an octogenarian in that show. So
I don't think you should do that. He hates everyone he's around. Every single person he's around. But he looks like he's actually having a lot of fun in this.
Well, he loves Indiana Jones, yo. Like he's gonna do Indiana Jones movies until he dies. And so this is probably going to be his last one.
Yeah,
so
he's 80 something years old. He's 80, right?
Yeah, and he keeps crashing planes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, it's Indiana Jones, man. I'm gonna see every Indiana Jones movie. They haven't all been great, but the even numbered ones are not good.
Fuck off.
But this is an odd numbered one. So here's hoping that it will continue the trend of odd numbered Indiana Jones movies being very good.
No, I think we're getting 4 out of the 5 of these are going to be pretty good. I haven't seen the last one. Don't plan on seeing it.
Don't bother unless you want to see Indiana Jones and share the same scene with a space alien.
I do not.
Don't bother.
I do not. Then there's a trailer for The Penguin. This is sort of a in production trailer, which I thought was going to be kind of useless, but turns out not really.
This looks like it's pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, dude, it really does. It looks great. Because I thought at first, I was like, are they just showing clips from the Batman? Like, and just like kind of talking about it. And it was like, oh shit, no, it's actually some real stuff in it. Yeah, Colin Farrell's ability to disappear in this role is just amazing to me. But I like this. This looks really, really, really good. Kind of bummed that this isn't a part of like the larger DCU, just because it would have been nice if they had like really dug into Batman in this kind of way, or that universe. But this is obviously going to be pretty finite, unfortunately. But yeah, I think this looks excellent.
Yeah, it. Look, I've had my reservations about this, but look, it looks good, man. It really does. For a character that is so ridiculous traditionally,
yeah.
Colin Farrell really makes this role kind of his own. I've seen a couple different variants of the Penguin, and from the 60s, like tuxedo wearing, cigarette holder having, quack quack quack, to the animated series, which is a little more of a gentleman gangster. Right,
Yeah.
like he's a little more of like an information broker, and then those Arkham games where he's just like a Cockney slob. He's just like with
a broken bottle for a monocle.
Yeah, with a broken bottle for a monocle because he's dumb. Like that character is dumb, and he thinks that having a monocle is sophisticated, so he just took a broken glass bottle and put it in his eye like there's a monocle. Nah, that character was dumb. To this being more of a classic noir gangster, and I like it. So yeah, I'm a little more interested in this than I was before.
Yeah,
but he's also called the Penguin, which I mean, but I get it. Like he's got a limp, and that's why they call him that, right? But yeah, we'll see.
Very cool, very cool. Next up is the trailer for the Continental. This is a 3-part event miniseries on Peacock. This is in the world of John Wick. This is takes place in the 1970s. I think the trailer looks pretty good. It looks interesting. 1970s New York, to be specific. I'm very interested to see what they do with this, considering that movie series is known for just like balls to the wall action.
Yeah. Everyone loves the 70s. Everyone loves this song. I don't know what they're going to do. I haven't seen John Wick 4 yet. This looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's all I got.
I hope it's fun. Look, one of the least interesting things about John Wick for me is the world. Because I think it's interesting, right? Like, but there are way too many people who are assassins, guys. There are way too many people.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
It's interesting for a video game premise. I don't know about like a 3-part miniseries. It's interesting in that it gives our hero a reason to kill a bunch of people.
Yes.
While going like this to avoid being shot in the face. Which is silly. But I'll give the first episode a shot. I hope it's good, man, because this series is known for its tremendous visuals and its action. And while the visuals will probably be really good, I don't think the action is going to be up to par. So you gotta supplement that, like Jay was talking about earlier. You gotta supplement that with quality storytelling, which is not something that the John Wick series is really known for.
Yeah. I would love if it actually turns out that they do nail the story, because that would actually make it kind of interesting that they were able to do that.
Yeah, that'll shut me up.
Yeah.
Okay. They have a very good opportunity to actually flesh out the world.
Yeah.
Since it takes place 40 years in the past.
Right.
And why everything is the way it is.
Yeah, because just a couple of coins at a hotel doesn't really do it.
Right.
It makes you intrigued about it, but it doesn't explain anything. Why are
Yeah,
there so many
it's
people
like
in the murder profession? Like, it's just
it's like learning the
job's
Joker's
bad.
backstory, yo. It's like learning the Joker's backstory. Like you think you want it because you don't have it, and then once you get it, he's just like, oh, this is just like a loser. This was just a loser who tried to be a stand-up and failed, right? Like that's one interpretation of it, and it's just that wasn't really how I expected the murder clown to be born, but okay, I guess.
It's like some interpretations of Doom, right? Like some are that he's horribly disfigured, but the better interpretation's got one scar on his face, and he was just so angry that happened. Like he was like, "Fuck that! No one can see my face ever again." Like, because he's such a
it was that originally, and then he was like, "Well, no one can see my face, so hey, Tibetan monks, come build this mask for me." And they were like, okay, it's almost done. He was like, fuck that, it's done now. And then he put a hot mask on his face, and then he fucked it up some more. Because that's Dr. Doom, right? Taken down by his own fucking hubris. Idiot.
I can't wait to see that asshole on screen. It's going to be great. So the trailer for Ahsoka. What is there to say about this besides I can't wait to watch this? This looks fun. It looks super fun. Rosario Dawson looks great, as she did before when she showed up in Mandalorian. But there's a lot going on. There's at least 2 saber-wielding Sith, it looks like. I don't know who they are. Whatever. This blonde chick looks like a badass. I guess her granddad or whatever looks like a badass too. Yeah, this just looks great. It looks really fun. I haven't watched Rebels, so I don't know who any of these other people are. But they all seem very cool. And Mon Mothma.
Well, me being a longtime Rebels fan,
yes, Rebels expert. If you will.
I've been telling people that they should watch Rebels for years, since like 2014 or whatever the hell the show came out. Yeah, I'm excited, man. Like, I'd be excited if it wasn't just this, but seeing Sabine and seeing what looks like Ezra and just these characters that I really like, along with it looks fun, man. It looks fun. So
yeah,
it looks good.
It looks fine. I'm probably not going to watch it. I don't really care that much about Star Wars at all. I haven't even watched this third season of what is it? The third or fourth season of Mandalorian. What season are you in?
Three.
Third. I haven't
watched three.
First half of the first episode.
Did you see the first season of Umbrella Academy? Because it's kind of like that.
Oh, I did not.
You're just being an asshole at this point. You're just being an asshole. Even you don't believe that. That's fucked up.
Like, I watched the first two seasons of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, they were fun,
which I enjoy. This third season, I heard it wasn't all that. I've heard so far that it was kind of all over the place, and The Mandalorian isn't even actually the main character.
He's not the top focus, actually. He's not,
which is odd.
Which is fine. It's fine, Cam. It's fine.
I watched, what was it, Book of Boba Fett, and that also was like, he wasn't necessarily the main character of that, and that was not very good.
Yeah, no, that show stunk.
That
show stunk.
It followed the same format as this one. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Oh wait, these last two episodes are amazing.
Yeah. I mean, they pulled it together in the end. Like, that finale was dope, but like that show was not good. Like, it just wasn't. Yeah. So yeah, look, I think this looks really great. I am looking forward to sort of learning more about a lot of these other ancillary, like, Rebels characters and stuff like that. So it should be fun. I don't think it should be skipped over that Thrawn is in this. Which is pretty cool, by all accounts, from people who are real big Rebels fans. They love him as a villain. He is going to be played by Lars Mikkelsen.
That's dope,
who
man.
voiced him in the show, right?
Yep, that's dope.
Hey man, those Mikkelsen boys are they're having a hell of a run. His brother is in Indiana Jones. I mean, Lars tried to fuck the first lady in House of Cards. Yeah, I mean, it's like, what can't they do? But they're both very good actors, incidentally. So yeah, I think Ahsoka looks dope. Last but certainly not least, the trailer for The Marvels has finally arrived. Nia DaCosta's upcoming movie. Look, I think this looks like a fucking blast. Looks like an absolute blast. All in.
Go ahead, Terrence.
No. Like I watched it, I'm like, I didn't like
Captain Marvel.
What was the last one? No, I hated Captain Marvel. I thought that movie was terrible. No, but I mean Thor Love and Thunder, right?
Yes.
With all the jokey joke shit. I didn't
I wasn't a fan either.
I hated it. And that's like, I love Miss Marvel, right?
Yeah.
The series. I also love Tiana Parrish. I'm not a fan of what's her name as Captain Marvel. Like, she might be a little bit more fun as in this one. Just didn't do anything for me, honestly. Okay, I watched it. I'm like, not because it's women, but because I'm like, I'm kind of getting a little tired of the fucking Marvel movies, honestly. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm like, it's the same formula. They're not doing anything different. This seems like it's going to be the same thing over again. I don't know. I'll watch it, but I'm not expecting to really enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll say this. I like the idea of seeing these three characters team up. Like, that's what I want to see, because they're three very different personality types. But yeah, I thought it looked fun. It looks like they're just going. I hope they don't go Love and Thunder level silliness, because I just, that movie really turned me off. But I think this looks like it could actually be pretty fun and sort of work. But it'll all matter in what their interactions are between the three mains.
Yeah.
This like you, Terrence, I've been kind of disillusioned with some of the Marvel movies as of late. Doctor Strange, I liked all these movies, but like Doctor Strange, I had incredibly high hopes for, and I guess that's my fault for like expecting multiverses in the multiverse of madness.
Yeah, it was a bit of a letdown. I really enjoyed that movie, but it was a bit of a letdown.
It was a fun movie. It was fine. I had something different in my head, and that's my fault. Thor: Love and Thunder, I was actually really looking forward to, and I was just kind of let down by it. And Goats for the Win really just fucking pissed me off, man. Like
that guy could have run one time and been done.
And then Ant-Man was going to be it, right? It was like, all right, it's fucking Ant-Man. Like this seems like it's, and it just wasn't. And the magic is not there for me anymore, right? Like I'm hoping Guardians can kind of get the magic back. I have faith that movie will, but
also,
for me,
go ahead.
And for me, the Marvels feels like I like Ms. Marvel. This feels like Ms. Marvel the movie, which is fine.
What I get. And again, I like Ms. Marvel, but like I don't want to see that in a 2-hour movie with these other two characters, right?
Yeah,
it was fine for her show.
And yeah, that tone was really good for the show because that tone kind of centered around that character.
Right.
So this makes me think that this is a Ms. Marvel movie with like the other two just kind of being there to assist, which is fine. Like I said, I want to see this movie and I have very high hopes for it. But I'm trying not to get too excited.
I think you're kind of waiting on what I think you and I both have a similar view is the spy shit in the MCU that's the fun stuff. Secret Invasion looks like that's going to be fun.
That's for me, right? Like that's for me. Like this is for certain people to get really jazzed for, and I'm not here to yuck your yum. I am looking forward to Secret Invasion. That's kind of what my focus is, and that's the thing that I'm hoping will give me the magic back and make me like super excited for these movies. Also, I'm getting old, man. Like we've been watching these movies for 15 years, man.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I'm fucking 42 years old.
Right. Like, right. Like
2008.
Like if you were,
I was 27 when the first movie came out. Like what the fuck?
You were just about a dad, and now by the time these movies come out, you'll be a granddad. Fucking
right.
ridiculous.
I'm like, I can't. At this point, I'm like the one that like in this, I guess in the chronological order. I think the last Marvel movie that I really liked was Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was great.
The last Spider-Man movie. And everything else after that, I'm just kind of like, all right, okay. I don't hate it, but I'm just like, all right. You're not really doing anything for me.
Yeah, for me, I would agree. That was the last big, like, holy shit, this is as good as I wanted it to be. And it like met that expectation. I still think that there is a major, and I don't know if them making the change of like releasing less stuff is going to help. I think maybe it will. I think they are spreading themselves too thin.
Yep. Also that. There's way too much.
It's just way too much.
I don't think they're going to ever get back the magic of that final scene in Endgame. I think it's impossible. What they do. I don't care what they do. It's not going to happen. It ain't.
Yeah, it's impossible.
With characters, that was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in a movie theater.
Now, I will say this.
Just because of what it was and the culmination.
Right. I will say this. While that is true, we are still basing all of everything that we know on an Avengers storyline. I think when the X-Men show up, that's a whole different ballgame. And that may be what they need. They need to end sort of the Avengers focus and start to move to focus on the X-Men world, because there's so much to do. Holy shit, there's so much to do. And there's just way different shit to mine, right? Like, just, you don't have to, I mean, the Avengers stories kind of get, eventually they just kind of become very similar, where the X-Men stories might give them a lot more variables. So I don't know. I mean, maybe not. But yeah, Spider-Man is definitely the last one I was just like, whoa, I was fucking really blown away by. I think like the spy stuff is really fucking intriguing, but I also think this is real, isn't this? Or Ant-Man was the beginning of starting to build out the plot, right? Like what the actual saga is about. I mean, now we got to change actors. That's unfortunate. Most likely. We'll see. Allegedly, you know. But I think that once that starts to build, I think people will likely get more on the train again, just because it's like, what's coming next type of thing. But you got to have a couple hits in a row, like not just okay hits. You got to have a couple of big ones where people are like, all right, now the magic feels like it's coming back. But I don't know. I think the pandemic fucked a lot of things up. Like doing too much did a lot. Like, you just gotta slow down. Like, slow down and do one movie at a time. Stop trying to like nail out 4 movies a year plus 3 or 4 series. That's way too much. Way too much. 2 movies, 2 series a year. That's enough. That's more than enough.
I would even knock it back to 1 series.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that too.
Like,
make people miss
you know. Yeah. And people are going to say, well, they're different movies, right? Like, they're different characters. This is a different type of movie. Like, this isn't Ant-Man. Like I'm excited to see this because it's on a fucking set. Like, that's where my bar is right now, yo. Like, it's not
instead of the volume.
Right. Like, I'm excited because they look like they're on actual, practical, physical locations that you can actually touch.
Right.
Before some smart ass comments, yeah, I know that Nick Fury is on Saber and they're not in space or whatever, but like they're actually opening doors in this trailer. You know what I mean? Like they're it feels a little more real, authentic. It
right.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not here to like shit on this movie. I actually really want to see it because the fuck?
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Nia DaCosta, and I want this thing to work.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, there you go. Thanks for showing up, Micah. What the fuck is his problem?
What the fuck?
I love how Micah, when he has to mention a black woman, he just literally disappears. It's like crazy.
Damn.
All right, that is it for us. Any other parting words before we get out of here?
Watch Beef.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, watch Beef and watch Rebels. Jay, all you people have probably watched it already, but
I'm not.
But yeah,
do that.
I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm gonna come back next week, and I'll be like, "Look, man, I've long said Rebels is the show to watch." All right, that is it for us. We will see you guys next week.
See you.